Have you noticed your legs feeling less trustworthy lately, even though you are trying to eat better and take your vitamins every day? Maybe the stairs seem a little steeper, or you grip the handrail just in case. Maybe your walks have become shorter because your knees feel wobbly or your thighs tire too quickly. It is easy to sigh and say, "This is just age." But there is a possibility almost no one talks about. Some of the vitamins you are swallowing in good faith may actually be stealing strength from your legs instead of giving it back. If your pill box is full yet your legs still feel weaker, this is the moment to listen and re-examine what is helping you stay on your feet. Most seniors do not end up with weak legs because they are careless or lazy. In fact, many of the people I meet are doing the opposite. They buy multivitamins, separate vitamin D, vitamin E, bone formulas, immune formulas, and anything they believe will protect their health. Their bathroom shelf looks like a small pharmacy. The problem is not the effort. The problem is that an older body does not respond to vitamins the same way a younger body does. After 60, your digestion slows, your stomach acid drops, your kidneys and liver process nutrients differently, and your muscles and nerves become far more sensitive to imbalance. Think of your body like an orchestra that used to play well even when one instrument was too loud. In your 30s, you could overload one nutrient and still feel fine because the rest of the system could compensate. In your 70s, the same overdose can throw the entire song off key. This is exactly what happens when certain vitamins are taken in isolated, high doses, without the natural partners that guide and balance them. You might see a normal blood test and assume everything is safe, while deep inside your muscles are quietly losing coordination, strength, and flexibility. There is another trap that many older adults fall into. Because you want to be responsible, you trust big labels and large numbers. You see 5,000 units or 10,000 units printed on a bottle and think, this must be what I need to catch up after years of deficiency. You see 400 units of a vitamin and think, if a little is good, more must be better. Advertising reinforces that message by promising extra strength, maximum potency, and super protection. It almost never mentions balance, timing, or interaction with other nutrients, yet those are the details that matter most to your legs. Real life proves this over and over. One person proudly takes a strong bone support formula, a separate vitamin D capsule, and a multivitamin, not realizing that all 3 layers contain vitamin D. Another person adds a standalone antioxidant pill on top of a diet already rich in nuts, seeds, and leafy greens. On paper, it looks like dedication. In the body, it can start to function like mild overdose. Before you swallow another handful of pills, it is worth slowing down and understanding how 2 specific vitamins can start to work against you when they are not taken in harmony with the rest of your diet. Vitamin D has been called the sunshine vitamin, the bone protector, even a miracle for the immune system. Many seniors have been told they are deficient, then sent home with large bottles of strong capsules, or they buy them on their own after seeing advertisements and online advice. The intention is good. You want to avoid fractures, keep your bones strong, and support your immune health. On the surface, a generous daily dose of vitamin D seems like an easy win that costs only a few seconds of your time. Inside the body, the story is more complicated. Vitamin D does not act alone. When you take it, it tells your intestines to pull more calcium out of your food and into your bloodstream. That is only the first step. The calcium still has to be told where to go. This is the job of vitamin K2, which helps direct calcium into bones and teeth, and the job of magnesium, which helps activate vitamin D and keep the entire process under control. When vitamin D arrives without enough K2 and magnesium, the system misfires in slow motion. Instead of calmly guiding calcium into strong bone, the body starts to leave calcium in places where it does not belong. Small deposits can build up in the walls of arteries, making them stiffer, like old rubber hoses that no longer bend easily. Tiny specks can settle in soft tissues, including muscles and tendons, like grit caught in moving parts. Over time, the legs, which depend on flexible blood vessels and supple muscle fibers, may begin to feel heavy, tight, or less responsive. You might notice more cramping in your calves, more burning in your thighs on the stairs, or a strange sense that your legs do not quite obey you the way they once did. Many older adults describe it in simple terms. They say, "My legs feel like concrete," or "My knees feel rusty," or "It takes a few steps in the morning before my body remembers how to move." Often they blame arthritis or dismissed aging, and sometimes those play a role. But in the background, unbalanced vitamin D can be adding an extra layer of stiffness and fatigue. The frightening part is that routine blood work can show a normal vitamin D level, while never revealing that the rest of the nutrient team is missing. To really understand why this happens, picture your body as a series of roads and bridges. Calcium is like the building material you need to repair cracks and strengthen structures. Vitamin D is the signal that says, "Bring in more trucks loaded with concrete." That is useful if your warehouses and workers are ready, if there are clear signs telling the trucks exactly which bridge needs repair. Vitamin K2 and magnesium are those signs and workers. Without them, the trucks pour concrete in the wrong spots, blocking traffic instead of fixing the road. In your legs, poor placement of calcium shows up in several ways. When arteries in the thighs and calves become stiffer, less blood reaches the working muscle during activity. You may feel a deep, aching fatigue after only a short walk, or a pressure in your calves that makes you want to sit down and rest even though you are not out of breath. When calcium deposits accumulate around muscle fibers, the tissue loses some of its natural ability to lengthen and shorten smoothly. Movements feel jerky, balance feels less secure, and recovery after small exertions takes longer than it used to. There is another hidden layer. High doses of vitamin D use up magnesium at a faster rate because your body needs magnesium at each step of converting vitamin D into its active form. If your diet is not rich in leafy greens, nuts, seeds, whole grains, and mineral-rich water, you may already be low in magnesium before you ever open the supplement bottle. As the weeks go by, leg cramps at night, twitching, restless legs, or a hollow sense of weakness when you stand from a chair can all be signs that the tank is running dry. Yet most people never connect these symptoms with the very vitamin they are proudly taking. Imagine an older woman who begins a high-dose vitamin D regimen after a routine blood test. At first, she feels proud and hopeful. She never misses a dose. 3 months later, she notices her calves cramp more often, and she feels unsteady on uneven ground. She blames age and avoids walking, which further robs her muscles of stimulus. Quietly, the combination of excess D, low magnesium, and reduced movement is carving away at her strength. This is not a rare story. It is playing out in different versions in households all over the world. This does not mean vitamin D is bad or that you should fear every capsule. It means that in an older body, strong doses used in isolation are rarely the right answer. Gentler, more balanced amounts, paired deliberately with K2, magnesium, sunlight when possible, and real food sources like fatty fish and egg yolks, can support your legs instead of undermining them. The key is to shift from the idea of blasting your system with one hero nutrient to the idea of feeding and steering an entire team that keeps you standing. The second vitamin that can quietly weaken your legs is vitamin E, especially when it comes in the form of large synthetic capsules. Vitamin E has a reputation as a powerful antioxidant, a shield against damage from daily life. For years, bottles offering 400 or 800 units were sold as if everyone needed them. Many seniors still take these pills every morning, believing they are fighting aging at the deepest level and protecting the heart, eyes, and brain. What most people are never told is that muscle needs a small amount of stress to grow and stay strong. When you walk, climb stairs, or do simple resistance exercises, your leg muscles create tiny sparks of stress inside their cells. These little sparks are signals. They tell the muscle, "This person still uses me. I need to repair and come back stronger." Scientists call this healthy signal hormetic stress. It is not the kind of overwhelming damage that destroys tissue. It is the light push that keeps a system alive and adaptive, the way a gentle challenge keeps your mind sharp. When you constantly flood your body with high doses of synthetic vitamin E, those signals are muffled. The antioxidant effect is so strong and so blunt that the tiny sparks your muscles produce after activity never fully register. In practical terms, it means you do the same walk every day or the same leg exercises from a chair, but your muscles do not get the full message to rebuild. You may notice that despite effort, your thighs do not feel steadier. Your balance does not improve, or your ability to rise from low seats does not change as much as you hoped. The supplement that was supposed to support you has, in a quiet way, blocked part of the very process you were trying to encourage. There is another complication. Natural vitamin E in food is not just one substance. It is a family of 8 related compounds that work together inside your cells. Most high-dose pills contain only one isolated form. Over time, loading your tissues with this single form can crowd out the others, altering the way your cells handle fats, inflammation, and repair. In older legs that already fight circulation challenges and slower recovery, this imbalance may show up as stubborn heaviness, slower healing after minor strains, increased bruising, or an ongoing sense that your legs never feel truly fresh even on quiet days. If all of this makes you want to throw away every bottle in your cupboard, pause for a breath. The lesson is not that vitamin E is your enemy. It is that the way we have been taught to use it is out of step with how the body actually works, especially after 60. Instead of seeing vitamin E as a high-dose drug to swallow forever, it is more helpful to think of it as a pattern of protection that should come primarily from food, with supplements used carefully and only when truly needed. When you eat a small handful of nuts, such as almonds, walnuts, or hazelnuts, or add seeds and a drizzle of unrefined oil to your vegetables, you are taking in vitamin E in its natural family form. You also get magnesium, healthy fats, and other antioxidants that the body understands and uses in concert. The doses are gentle, but they repeat day after day, which is exactly how long-term protection is built. Your muscles still generate the small sparks of stress they need after movement, but they are cushioned, not smothered. This allows you to gain strength from your walks and exercises instead of having that signal flattened. For people who truly need extra vitamin E because of a specific medical situation, mixed tocopherol supplements in modest doses can be a better option than isolated synthetic alpha-tocopherol at high strength. But this decision is best made with a clinician who understands your overall health, your medications, your blood work, and your diet, not with a guess at the pharmacy shelf. Often, when people switch from a single large pill to food-based sources, they notice fewer digestive issues, steadier energy, and legs that feel a little more willing to move. The bigger shift is to stop thinking that every sign of aging calls for a new pill. For leg strength in particular, the essential raw materials are often simpler than we imagine. Strong legs are built on enough high-quality protein to maintain muscle fibers, enough minerals to allow smooth contractions, and enough movement to remind the body that those muscles are still needed. When vitamins are added thoughtfully, in balance, they can support this work. When they are added in isolation and excess, they can in fact pull that foundation out from under you. The good news is that with a few corrections, you can turn your supplement routine from a hidden risk into a true ally for your mobility. So what does all of this mean in daily life, in the moments when you are standing in front of your kitchen counter, pill box in hand? The first step is awareness. Look honestly at what you are taking. If your vitamin D dose is far above 2,000 units per day and you are not pairing it with vitamin K2 and magnesium-rich foods, that is a clear place to start a conversation with your doctor. Ask whether a lower, steadier dose would still keep your levels healthy and whether adding K2 and magnesium might make more sense than simply pushing D higher. Next, examine any vitamin E supplement you use. If the label lists only alpha-tocopherol and the dose sits at 400 units or more, consider whether you still need that pill. You might discuss with your provider the option of stopping it, switching to a mixed, lower dose form, or focusing instead on food sources like nuts, seeds, avocado, and leafy greens. Remember, changes should be made gradually and thoughtfully, especially if you take other medications or have complex conditions. The goal is not to suddenly strip everything away, but to steer your routine toward balance. Alongside this supplement check, give your legs what they clearly respond to. Aim for 25 to 30 grams of protein at each main meal from eggs, fish, poultry, dairy, tofu, or legumes, so that when your muscles get the signal to rebuild, the building blocks are ready. Slip in 2 or 3 short bouts of strength work for your legs each week, even if it is only standing from a chair 10 times, doing gentle heel raises at the counter, or using a light resistance band while seated. These movements themselves are part of your medicine, and they cost nothing but a few focused minutes. Do not forget the quieter supports that matter just as much. Stay hydrated so your muscles can contract smoothly. Make time for sleep so repair hormones can do their work. When possible, get a little natural light on your skin and in your eyes in the morning, which helps your own vitamin D production and keeps your body clock steady. Finally, pay attention to how you feel over time as you simplify and balance your vitamins. Many older adults are surprised to notice that within weeks, the heaviness in their legs eases slightly, their confidence on the stairs improves, or those nighttime calf cramps become less frequent. These are the small, encouraging signs that your body is thanking you for treating it as a whole system, not a collection of separate parts. To make this feel less abstract, imagine a simple 7-day reset for your legs. On day 1, you review your supplements and write down every dose. On day 2, you call your clinic or pharmacy and ask who can help you review them. On day 3, you add an extra serving of a magnesium-rich food, such as spinach, beans, or a small handful of nuts. On day 4, you practice your chosen leg exercise, even if it is only for 5 minutes. On day 5, you repeat the exercise and gently add 1 more repetition. On day 6, you take a slow, mindful walk and notice how your legs feel. On day 7, you pause and reflect on which changes felt realistic and which ones you want to keep. Small structure like this matters because the brain loves a clear plan. Many seniors stay stuck not because they are unwilling, but because no one has broken the process into steps that feel human and doable. You do not have to tackle every nutrient and every habit at once. You only need to keep a short list where you can see it and give yourself credit each time you follow through. Over a month, Those small actions add up to real protection for your thighs, calves, knees, and ankles, even if no one around you notices the change yet. If you live with a partner, family member, or friend, invite them into this process. Ask them to be your leg strength partner for the next few weeks. You can remind each other to stand up from the chair a few extra times, to choose the nuts instead of the sugary snack, or to ask the doctor about more balanced vitamin doses. Turning this into a shared project makes it more enjoyable and less lonely, and the people who care about you also benefit from stronger, more reliable legs of their own. Finally, remember that you are allowed to change your mind as you learn. If a health professional once told you to take a very high dose of a vitamin forever, and newer information suggests a different approach, it is not disrespectful to ask questions. Medicine is always evolving. Good doctors expect their patients to come back with new concerns and better questions. You are not being difficult when you advocate for your legs. You are being wise. When you put all of this together, a very different picture of aging emerges. Instead of seeing your 60s, 70s, and 80s as a slow slide into weakness, you can see them as decades where careful, informed choices keep you steady and capable. Balanced vitamins, real food, simple strength work, and a curious mind become tools you use on purpose, not products that happen to you. Your legs do not need perfection. They need attention, consistency, and a chemistry inside your body that is working with them, not against them. One day, you may notice a small but powerful sign that this is working. Perhaps you stand up from a low couch without pushing on your thighs. Perhaps you walk across a parking lot carrying groceries and realize you did not think about your knees even once. These are not dramatic movie moments, but they are the real victories of aging well. Each of them traces back to tiny choices in your kitchen and living room. In that sense, every time you choose balance over excess in your vitamins, you are casting a quiet vote for stronger, more dependable legs. If any of this sounded uncomfortably familiar, take it as a warning, not a criticism. You have been doing your best with the guidance you were given. Now you have better information, and that gives you a chance to protect your legs in a smarter way. You do not have to fix everything tonight. You only need to choose one step and follow through. Today, look at your vitamin D and vitamin E bottles. Write down the doses and bring that note to your next appointment so you can ask questions about balance and safety. At the same time, pick one simple leg habit, such as slow chair stands or heel raises at the counter, and weave it into your day. If this approach feels realistic, share it with a friend and stay connected here for more support made for people over 60.